Okay, moving into our 8th serial killer profile. Today's profile is going to focus on Tommy Lynn Sells, aka the Coast to Coast Killer. Tommy Lynn Sells was a serial killer from Texas who claims to have killed at least 70 people across the country between 1985 and 1999. Some of these claims have been proven false. Others are connected to unsolved crimes, and a few have been verified. His trail of victims earned him the name the Coast to Coast Killer. However, Sells was convicted of only one murder, but this single conviction was enough to land him on Texas's death row. Tommy Lynn Sells and his twin sister Tammy Jean were born in Oakland, California on June 28, 1964. His mother, Nina Sells, was a single mother with 3 other children at the time that the twins were born. The family moved to St. Louis, Missouri, and at 18 months old, both Sells and Tammy Jean contracted spinal meningitis. This killed Tammy Jean. Tommy survived. Throughout his early childhood years, Sells was left mostly to fend for himself. He rarely attended school, and by the age of 7, he was drinking alcohol. From the age of 10 to 13, Sells showed a special knack for staying in trouble. By age 10, he had stopped attending school, choosing instead to smoke pot and drink alcohol. Once, when he was 13, he assaulted his mother. This was the last straw for Tommy's mother. Within days, she took his siblings and left Tommy alone, leaving not so much as a forwarding address. Filled with rage after his abandonment, the teenage Sells attacked his first female victim by pistol whipping her until she was unconscious. With no home and no family, Sells began drifting from town to town, picking up odd jobs and stealing what he needed. Sells later claimed he committed his first murder at age 16, after breaking into a home and killing a man inside. There was never any proof to back up his claim about the incident. Sells also claimed to have shot and killed John Cade Sr. in July 1979, after Cade caught him burglarizing his home. He later confessed to killing 2 people in Arkansas, before heading to St. Louis in 1983. Only one of the murders, that of Hal Atkins, was ever confirmed. Always on the streets, Sells did what he knew best, robbing and killing, working as a carnival roustabout and hopping trains to get to his next destination. In May 1984, Sells was convicted of car theft, and he was given a 2-year prison sentence. He was released from prison the following February, but failed to follow the terms of his probation. While in Missouri, Sells started working at a county fair in Forsyth, where he met Ina Court, 35, and her 4-year-old son. Sells later admitted to killing them both. According to Sells, Court invited him back to her house, but when he caught her going through his knapsack, he beat her to death with a baseball bat. In October 1987, Sells was living in Winnemucca, Nevada, with 20-year-old Stephanie Stroh. Sells confessed to drugging Stroh with LSD, then strangling her and disposing of her body by weighing down her feet with concrete and putting her body into a hot spring in the desert. This crime was never confirmed. Keith Dardeen and his family were the next known unfortunate victims that tried to befriend Sells. They spotted Sells hitchhiking in Ina, Illinois, and offered him a hot meal at their home. In return, Sells shot and murdered them. This crime remained unsolved for over a decade until Sells confessed to the murders. In the end, a child brought the serial killer to justice. In 1999, Sells broke into 10-year-old Crystal Surley's bedroom, where he proceeded to assault and stab her. He killed her 13-year-old friend and left, believing that both girls were dead. Surley survived the attack and was able to escape to a neighbor's house. With the help of a forensic artist, Crystal was able to provide enough detail to create a sketch that provided a detailed description of Sells. Tommy Lynn Sells was arrested days later on January 2, 2000, at the trailer where he lived with his wife and her 4 children. It was a peaceful arrest. He did not resist or even ask why he was being arrested. On September 18, 2000, Sells pled guilty and was convicted of the capital murder of Kayleen Harris, an attempted murder of Crystal Surlis. He was sentenced to death. While incarcerated, Sells was also indicted for the 1997 Greene County, Missouri murder of Stephanie Mahaney. Sells also voluntarily pled guilty to the strangling death of 9-year-old Mary B. Perez of San Antonio, for which he received a life sentence. During the following months, Sells admitted to killing multiple men, women, and children in several states across the country. In 2002, crime writer Diane Fanning began corresponding with Sells as he awaited the death penalty in Texas. In one of his letters to Fanning, Sells confessed to the murder of a 10-year-old Joel Kirkpatrick. Joel's mother, Julie Ray Harper, was found guilty of his murder and was in prison. Later, Sells told Fanning during a face-to-face interview that Harper had been rude to him at a convenience store, so to get back at her, he followed her home and murdered the boy. The confession, along with Fanning's testimony at a prison review board, and with help from the Innocence Project, later resulted in a new trial for Harper that ended in an acquittal. Based on Sells' confessions throughout the years, numerous other murders have been attached to his name. Chronologically, Sells claimed to have been committing murders in Arizona, Utah, Oregon, California, Nevada, Wyoming, Florida, South Carolina, Illinois, Kentucky, Wisconsin, and Oklahoma. However, many have later been proven to be committed by other people, whether through forensic evidence, dates not matching key details, or data confirming Sells' whereabouts in other states. For this reason, only the confirmed crimes for which he was convicted can truly be considered the work of Tommy Lynn Sells. In jail, Sells said there wasn't one day that went by when he didn't think about the one that got away. Tommy Lynn Sells was executed in 2014 by lethal injection. At that time, he refused to make a statement.